We're still in summer. So basically, if you think late summer, the weather's pretty good. That's where we are. Somewhere in the middle of summer. So the weather's good. It's easy to make money. And this is the acceleration that happens around the US election years. And this has happened every time, is what I refer to as the banana zone.
Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. Raoul Pal, founder and CEO of Real Vision, shares his macro outlook and why he thinks we're headed for an economic singularity with the rise of AI.
Where everything goes bananas, and in crypto terms, the charts just look like bananas standing on end because they just go vertical. Because around the election period and the year afterwards, they all have to refinance, $10 trillion of debt. The Fed has not been able to the Treasury's not been able to refinance easily, so it's been issuing short-end bills, which is basically a holding pattern for rates to come down. Wait for rates to come down, and then you can refinance your rates. It's like you don't want to refinance your mortgage at highs, you want to refinance your mortgage at lows. So you keep your money in a money market fund, which is basically what the Fed did, and then they'll do that. So that period of massive liquidity tends to debase currency. We're seeing China coming out with the cowbell, more stimulus. The US has started the rate cut cycle. That's going to come down a lot. The EU have started. The UK have started. Everybody started. And so the big game is at play. So, I've talked about this at length about the everything code and how the entire economic machine is now driven by one key thing, which is liquidity. And that's now driving the business cycle. Liquidity became the most important thing in the world after 2008, when we had a global debt reset, but not how people expected. We had it by them forgiving all interest payments for a number of years. So everybody reset their debts, didn't have to pay interest, and everybody reset their debts at a 3 to 5 year time horizon. That's all the major governments in the world, from China to Japan to the US, the UK to the EU to Canada, everybody. And since then, the world has been on this cycle. Every time you refinance the debts, they add liquidity in. Now, the use of liquidity, i.e. debasement of currency, to pay for the interest payments on all the debt is the thing that causes assets to go up, because the debasement is actually lowering optically the value of fiat currency. So it's a bit of a mind trick, and people don't see it and don't understand it. But this is why markets go up. And then, over time, I've looked how cyclical this is, and that it repeats, and we can forecast it into the future by using certain forward-looking indicators as part of the Everything Code. And everybody should go to my YouTube channel, see that video. And so Raoul Pal, the Journeyman, see the video of the Everything Code. It is 2.5 hours long, but it is the most important thing I've ever put out. And so
Bitcoin tapped $65,000 after the September 26 Wall Street open as United States macro events fueled risk asset gains. Continued upside came as U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen boosted hopes that the Federal Reserve would achieve a soft landing on inflation. Speaking to CNBC, Yellen painted an optimistic picture of the U.S. economy, one the Fed Chair Jerome Powell avoided in prepared remarks at the 2024 U.S. Treasury Market Conference at the New York Fed. As I noted when I spoke at this event in 2015, our nation's entire financial framework has been built around the ability to quickly and efficiently transform Treasury securities into cash liquidity, he said. I said then that these markets need to keep functioning at a high level, and we all have a stake in making sure that they do. I remain wholly dedicated to that goal. Elsewhere, U.S. Q2 gross domestic product data came in line with expectations at 3%, while jobless claims fell slightly below anticipated levels. The S&P 500 set a new intraday record high on the day, continuing a rally that gathered pace after Powell announced the first interest rate cuts in 40 years on September 18. Commenting trading resource, the Kobayashi letter pinned the reason for the latest gains on China, which itself announced various fiscal stimulus moves this week. This is only the beginning, it wrote in part of a dedicated thread on X, describing China as panicking.
So what we get is, bizarrely, it breaks down pretty much by year, not perfect, but so 2022 was macro winter. We had inflation, we had recessionary conditions in all markets. It wasn't called a recession in the end, but regardless, everything went down and everything went to shit. Next year, spring. What happens in spring? You get shoots of recovery. What happened? Tech stocks, crypto, things in secular trends did really well. But the business cycle remained low. So the forward-looking things, the things that are driven by liquidity, which leads the business cycle by a significant period of time, had started to recover. Then you get into macro summer. Macro summer is when the economic machine starts firing up again. And that lends to another acceleration in markets and growth, whilst inflation tends to be falling or subdued. And that's a really lovely period because you can make money in pretty much everything. Commodities go up, gold goes up, small caps go up, crypto goes up, tech goes up, everything goes up. And that's where we are now. And so that summer period, the real footprint usually accelerates around the US election and after it. And that's when most markets have their best performance. So there is a seasonality around elections, which you tend to get strong first half of the year or first part of the year. Then it tends to be a bit more sideways, which we had in tech and we had in crypto, and where the rest of the market started playing a bit of catch up. And then you get the acceleration that goes on for the end of summer straight into macro fall, which is 2025, when really the best gains come of all. So that's where we are. So back then, we were just starting. Now, what happened? Crypto went on a massive tear, then had that sideways consolidation. Tech had a massive tear, had a sideways consolidation. The rest of the market's now catching up, and the next phase is the money shot.
Bitcoin market participants, meanwhile, saw the need for consolidation around the latest highs before fresh upside. $65,000 ask liquidity taken. Next ask liquidity is $66,000. Bid liquidity around $62,000. $61,000. Popular trader Stu confirmed to X followers. So given the large gap now, would want to see more structure develop or a nice consolidation before continuation higher. The bad outcome would be a full retrace with weakness. The latest data from monitoring resource CoinGlass showed liquidity massing on either side of the spot price, once more across exchange order books. A cautious whale panda said that more time was needed to be convinced of BTC price strength, noting a major options expiry due on September 27. Bitcoin being above $65,000 ruins a lot of the lower highs forever crowd, he wrote on X, referring to recent price behavior. I do expect this to be a struggle, though, since tomorrow is a large quarterly options and futures expiry, so anything happening in next 24 hours is just noise. Commentator Justin Bennett nonetheless went further, warning that a return below $60,000 was still possible. This isn't confirmed yet, but the conditions favor sweeping the $BTC $57, $58,000 longs before targeting the $68, $70,000 liquidity. He commented alongside the daily chart. Invalidation on a sustained break above $65,000. And do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. The most important news will reach your inbox on a daily basis and for free. I do not know why you have not subscribed yet. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to empower you on your financial journey. Until next time, happy investing.